to keep this tie alive, but there's Merson trying to get Beck away. He was fractionally offside. Mind you, Middlesbrough beat Liverpool last season in this competition in the 5th round, 2-1. Here's Babb. Leonardson on this left-hand side. Back to Harkness and Babb again. Back to David James. Played every game this season for Liverpool in goal. In fact, 207 consecutive games the big goalkeeper's had. McManaman. And there's Baker, the number 11, alongside him. Redknapp losing out to that great competitor Andy Townsend. Maddison playing it back to Pearson. They'll be glad to have him and his experience back at the heart of their defence tonight. Here's Babb to Harkness. Terrific surface to play on. Fowler. But quickly hustling there was Townsend, although it was Pearson who eventually got the challenge in. Hignett playing it wide for the Slovakian Kinder. Played long and Beck's onside. And James read that beautifully. Maddison.
That was an excellent piece of goalkeeping by James, because Beck had completely slipped the four back line of Liverpool.
Here's Ince. And down goes Schwarzer. Leonardson, but Pearson read that quickly and well. Oh, we just caught him there. That's a free kick. Nothing maliciously so far as Merson was concerned, but it was certainly worthy of the free kick.
I think later in the game this particular referee will certainly give a booking for that.
McAteer. Redknapp. McAteer, worth a shot. You say this particular referee, Gary Willard, in fact, reading the Sporting Life this morning, he says the 12 games that he's officiated in this season, there's a shot over the crossbar. 55 yellow cards he's given, 4 sendings off, and at Birmingham v Stockport on Saturday, 7 yellow cards and 2 sendings off. So they'll be aware of that, the players, and they've been warned. But he can only give what he sees. Townsend. Very, very committed and very involved in these opening stages of this important Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. Touched on there by Redknapp. Knocked away again by Pearson. Up to Mustoe. Here's Hignett. Wouldn't he love to do well tonight? Mustoe. This is young Steve Baker. Vickers. Schwarzer playing it long. Matteo there. So solid at the heart of this Liverpool defence. Harkness playing it short for Leonardson. Knocked in nicely to Fowler. Middlesbrough working hard, and none more so than Andy Townsend. What a great run here by him. And how well shadowed he was too by Matteo.
Yeah, that's a brilliant burst from midfield. Caught the Liverpool line completely napping. That's Andy Townsend of a few years back that. He could do that regular. Nowadays he'll have to sort of govern his runs a little bit.
So that's Townsend with the corner. Big men up from the back as well. Deep one, and James a good safe catch. Standing 6'5", he's got every chance of winning those. And here's Michael Owen. Maddison nodding it back.
You saw how quickly the Middlesbrough team flooded back behind the ball. I thought Michael Owen dwelt on it a little bit. James set him off with a good throw out, and you thought he might have just used that pace he's got and tried to attack early. He waited for support and he let the whole of the Middlesbrough side virtually get back behind the ball.
Middlesbrough certainly know they've got to work their socks off here tonight. If they don't, they're going to be walloped. Here's Owen. And now Harkness. Redknapp. Ince. Little touch through. Townsend inspiring that midfield. Didn't get his challenge in there, but he's picked it up again here.
I tell you what, Ince has done him a right favour there. He's tackled Harkness out of the ball.
Offside there against Beck. Ince. Matteo. Long stride of his. Stopped by Kinder. Knocked back there by Townsend. It's got to be booted clear by Schwarzer. Redknapp. Owen on the far side. Can't shake him off. That's a free kick. Early thoughts, Ron?
I mean, Middlesbrough they've set the stall out. They're camping in midfield. They're trying to get Liverpool to play everything across the face of them. What they've got to be a little bit aware of that is, and this will be Robbo's game plan there, is when Liverpool do set a square ball outside the penalty box, that something like McAteer, Redknapp or something doesn't have a shot from a distance.
McAteer getting it back again. This is a good break by Baker. I've seen Middlesbrough twice in the last fortnight at Charlton when they were pulverised. He's well offside again, Beck. And again on Saturday.
Actually, Brian,
they were less than good.
Sorry, just looking at Beck there, that's the third time he's been caught there. But he's only just offside, you know. I mean, when it eventually happened, he looked well offside. But he's pulling on the shoulder there, Dominic Matteo. And once or twice, he's going to get away with that.
Well, here's McManaman. Here's the battle we were talking about at the start. McManaman against Baker. And he's got some support, Baker, from Kinder, and eventually it goes for the goal kick.
I think Kinder's protesting here. McManaman's fouled him, and I think he's got a very real case there.
Contact is nearest head steward. Right away, please. Andrew Field.
Roy Evans, the Liverpool manager, at the right-hand side there. As he was saying before the start, what can I do? They're doing so well. You know it's going to be unchanged. You know the team. And he's very relaxed about it. He's also offered up a very strong defence of Robbie Fowler in the last day or so. But Robbie's lack of form and the alleged contract demands and so on have turned one or two people against him a bit, but his manager is sticking right with him. Owen getting it back to McAteer, playing a good ball in there. Pearson in a good position to get it away to Hignett. Up to Beck, onside this time. Back to Craig Hignett. Kinder may not get there. Ince does. And he's flicked a lovely ball here for Owen. Fowler's very active in the box there. And Leonard's in there too. But again, Middlesbrough get it away. And a foul? No, not given. Referee's allowed it to go on. Hignett gets up and he's okay. Here's Harkness. And that's the keeper's ball.
That's intelligent from Harkness. He realises there's little or no point of throwing it in through the air against Pearson and Vickers. So he's just trying to thread it into feet and hope that the quickness of Fowler or the quickness of Owen can catch them napping a bit.
Matteo. Now Beck. Then a header by Matteo. None of them can get a lot of purchase on it. Here's Paul Merson. Hignett. And now to Neil Maddison. That should be David James's ball.
I tell you what, one of the problems Liverpool have, you know, because there's only one striker basically up front, nobody's really marking Beck. I think they're all taking it for granted that somebody's picking it. And even on that occasion, he almost got in on the diagonal through ball.
Maddison.
That's good, man.
Matteo. given away there by Ince. That's unusual. Merson, will they make him pay for it? McAteer bundling into Mikkel Beck. Not sure whether he's given a free kick or a throw there. It's a throw. Vladimir Kinder with it. McAteer to Ince. Steve Harkness. Liverpool being made to work for everything tonight, Ron, aren't they?
Well, they're probing and they're pushing it around, and Middlesbrough working very hard to close down. I'm just wondering, with Liverpool just keep popping the ball about like this, how much it's going to tell on the Middlesbrough lads later in the game. Well,
Baker was sprawling, yes, he was sprawling all over McManaman, and Baker will be called to him because he was physically holding McManaman back, and the referee quite properly has given a free kick to Liverpool. And if that had gone on much longer, and if he does it again, I would have thought that young Steve Baker would be in serious trouble.
The one thing you can't afford, of course, is a booking this early in the game, particularly if he's doing a man-marking job.
Well, there's Redknapp's free kick, but it wasn't a real problem for Mark Schwarzer. Merson versus Babb. Feet were too high on Merson by Babb. Free kick to Middlesbrough. Been impressed by Middlesbrough's attitude in these opening minutes.
Yes, they've closed down, they've worked very hard, but as I say, one of the problems they might have is can they sustain that for 90 minutes? It's a hard old job to do for 90 minutes.
Pearson on the far side would be a target for them, big man. Surprised Steve Vickers isn't up there somewhere, but Merson with the free kick, he's floated it to Robbie Mustoe on the far side. No, it was Maddison, in fact.
That's a good well-worked free kick. That Maddison spun right around the back there. It's a beautiful flighted ball from Merson. It's a great pity, really. I think actually Mustoe went for goal, but it's a great pity. One of the players couldn't have just anticipated and made a run for the box there.
So a goal kick, which David James will take.
Well, that's one decided advantage I do think Middlesbrough have, the aerial power. Set plays Pearson and Vickers particularly.
Here's Owen. Foul a little too slow. And Merson caught offside, but the referees played the advantage. Now let's see if Liverpool could take advantage of that. It's with McManaman, with McAteer outside him, Ince inside him, and the young marker, Steve Baker, right in there quickly and legitimately that time. There's a nice touch by Merson, up to Beck, and Merson wants it back again, but the pass wasn't good enough.
Well, and if you could have seen Mustoe had absolutely burst blood vessels to get up there alongside him. And he was actually clean in. If Beck could have just turned that into Mustoe's run.
Here's Maddison again. Played on by Hignett that time. Matteo. Redknapp. Here's Owen. Oh, a terrific shot. He's hit the target 12 times this season. And 9 goals in the last 13 games he's played.
My own bet there was when he hit that, I thought that's a goal. He has really cracked that one, hasn't he? That's confidence and assurance for you, that. That's a great strike.
Just 18 years old.
You'll let him off for missing him with some crack, that.
Goes back again. Owen. Falls for Hignett. And now Merson. Can he get there?
Oh, it's fascinating. You know, they're popping the ball about Liverpool and they're moving defenders about and playing their passes. But the danger for me all seems this. Put it on again, this little angle ball. They certainly, the fullbacks are in advance, the Liverpool fullbacks. And if they're cute enough, particularly that fella, Merson, who's a super player in that position, then I think Liverpool might have a problem. Beck's nearly been in there 2 or 3 times. Merson's just been in there. And
what of an hour gone?
That's because basically, Brian, nobody's really marking at the back. Matteo and Babb want to. They might be better if they just detail Babb to mark somebody. Matteo do the playing.
Ince. Great body power there, but Mustoe concedes the free kick. As Jamie Redknapp will take. Owen's peeled off. Harkness is down one side of him. McManaman's here. Here is Harkness now. Fowler's waiting in there. Leonardson's in there too. It's Kinder who got that away.
That's one of the problems you've got with the short forwards like Fowler and Owen. I mean, Harkness would dearly have loved if Riedler had been playing. I think he'd have just stood that one in towards the second post. He said go in and have a crack at, you know, try and get on the end of that.
McManaman. Karl-Heinz Riedler, one of the subs tonight for Liverpool. Stopped there by Pearson. He's got room down to play down the channel now here for Craig Hignett. And, well, a great run by Townsend, and Beck's up as well, but Townsend might have problems. But he's got a corner.
Yeah, he's got to be selective with his runs, Andy Townsend, but he's made 2 or 3 already darting from midfield beyond the Liverpool backline. And he's, because of his know-how and because of his ability, he's got the ability to produce something a little bit telling from there.
And this time Vickers has come forward as well as Pearson. So there's plenty of height from Middlesbrough now in that Liverpool penalty area. Here's Townsend, needs to deliver a good corner. But again, straight to James.
I almost said that's so important they keep it away from the big fella. Merson's in front of him trying to block him coming out.
Now this could be interesting. Owen, Kinder's across there. Suddenly Liverpool had sprung 4 people forward, and Middlesbrough that time were just a little slow getting back. Now they're back. Redknapp. But it's an absorbing cup tie at the moment.
It's a good game. Very good game. Contrasting styles, contrasting philosophy.
McAteer. There's Pearson. Getting it away, only as far as it's played in again. Oh, and it almost went through to Robbie Fowler then. Harkness playing it here for McManaman. There's Baker with him as well. And Baker did well. Baker did very well.
Well, he's gone one-to-one with him twice in tackles and done the tackle very cleanly.
Here's Harkness. Playing it for Redknapp again. Oh, a lovely dummy there by Jamie Redknapp. But it came off Leonardson comfortably into Schwartz's arms. Liverpool throw.
Merson's finished up in row 1 here.
Is he okay? Yes.
He's nicked back. He's done a clever one. He's nicked back on and nearly pinched the ball.
From Harkness. Fowler. Pearson gets it away. Good work by Babb. Played on the game. Merson is just offside.
Yeah, they're playing a dangerous game. I know Liverpool have always in the past held a high line, but they've had defenders that could concentrate at it. I'm not too sure. And, you know, the statistic you've said at the start of how many clean sheet they kept bears you out wrong on that. But I have to say, they look dodgy to me at the back.
Here's Leonardson over on the right-hand side now. Owen's over here on the left. Redknapp to Babb. Hignett had no right to win that against Babb and didn't. Baker gets it back. Well, it was a fortunate kick. Townsend picks it up. Here's Hignett. Played on again. Beck. Oh, and Townsend is almost through, and the ball wouldn't quite run for him.
Good running. Perhaps a bit of better ball from Beck into his path would have helped him.
McManaman. Here's McAteer. A bit of space on that far side now. Fowler's gone wide. Redknapp's in the middle, so too is Leonardson. They get a throw. McManaman.
You know, it's been played at a hell of a tempo, you know, it's from end to end, and you just wonder, because you feel that Middlesbrough are having to work harder. Liverpool's way of playing is much more economic, where they pass it and move.
Leonardson played in. Pearson, a real tower back there tonight for Middlesbrough. Down the line for Leonardson. Plenty up there still for Liverpool. The options are here, and it's with Michael Owen. And played by Paul Ince.
Some good setting up play there from Michael Owen. Realises once again, pulls Pearson wide, slots this ball lovely with the way into Ince. But watch Musto close out here. That's good play. Just make sure that Ince doesn't get a clean strike on the ball. Just over 20 minutes played, Brian, and I don't think, I'm just having a look now, I don't think Baker, this is the first time I've seen Baker away from McManaman.
Beck with a little back flick. Merson trying to bring Kinder in on the far side. That bouncing run of his just couldn't keep it in play.
Actually, I think Liverpool would be quite happy if Middlesbrough did some sustained attacking. It might leave them just a bit more space themselves to counter-attack, particularly with the pace of, say, McManaman and Owen.
Here's Townsend. The cross comes in towards Merson. And the throw out by James to McManaman. And look who's right with McManaman. Baker again. This time he finds Ince, though. Leonardson. Swift, unfair challenge. Townsend has been an absolute inspiration for them tonight through that midfield, hasn't he?
Yeah. I'm just hoping he doesn't sort of blow himself out the way he's doing it. You know, he's made an awful lot of runs from midfield and done his fair share of sort of digging out in the ball-winning areas.
Because retreating and allowing it to go over. Liverpool subs, Karl-Heinz Riedler, Jamie Carragher and the American goalkeeper Brad Friedel, and for Middlesbrough, Craig Harrison, Jaime Moreno, the Bolivian, and Andy Campbell. Merson. Goal kick.
I would think Merson thinks this is reminiscent to when he used to come here in his early days at the Arsenal. And Arsenal would just sit there and try and frustrate Liverpool and play off their front players, of which Merson at that time was one of the young strikers.
McAteer playing it forward. Yeah, I should think Merson's got a few Anfield memories. He was here that night, wasn't he, 89, when the George Graham side won the championship. I think Paul was in the side that night.
Yeah, I think he played up front with Smith, didn't he? Did he play up front with Smith that night?
McManaman. Hobson. Of the first half left, and a header skillfully guided back there by Steve Vickers. Up goes Babb against Beck. Musto trying to get in there as well, but Redknapp, but it's gone to Baker. Now to Madison. Up goes Beck again, flicking it on. Merson trying to get in behind and wasn't far from succeeding.
One stage you thought he might just have got in front of Matteo. Clever little header from back there. He's winning a lot of balls in the air, Beck.
Matteo then to Harkness.
What they're doing well from midfield, Middlesbrough. They're all tucking back in. They're letting them get so far, particularly in wide positions, Liverpool. And then one of them, be it Mustoe or Hignett or Townsend, just springs and presses the ball, and they all go with him. The rest of the midfield follow in. And at the moment, Redknapp and Ince have had little or no space to work in.
Beaten finalists last year, of course, Middlesbrough. Terrific run in this cup. And in the FA Cup as well. Beaten finalists there as well. And relegated too. Well, they say getting back to the Premiership is their #1 priority, but an appearance at Wembley in the Coca-Cola final would certainly be very tempting for them. Here's Phil Babb. Remember, over 2 legs, the second leg still to come at Middlesbrough. Here's Craig Hignett. Showed far too much of that to Ince. Middlesbrough get it back again. Hignett's little touch didn't quite reach Beck. And here's Michael Owen on the far side. Kinder trying to get back. Leonardson up there. Fowler in there too. And it's still with Owen. Gets it back to Redknapp. And here's McAteer on the far side. Red shirts swarming in that Middlesbrough penalty area now. Steve Vickers gets it away.
That's important when McAteer does cross the ball. He shapes a good ball in. That all the big Middlesbrough defenders are all in position. If it's very high in the air, you really wouldn't fancy Liverpool to get a goal from that position.
It's with McAteer, and it's another Liverpool throw. Up goes Fowler, but he's quite easily beaten in the air by Maddison on that occasion. Harkness, blocked by Pearson, finds Merson, delayed it too long, unlike him. Harkness was onto him.
That was a promising position, wasn't it? 2v2 with Mustoe joining up from midfield as well.
Dominic Matteo. And now Harkness. And now Owen. Beaten again by Townsend, but given away by Townsend. Struggles to get it back again. And here's Paul Ince breaking now. This could be interesting. But again, they did well, Middlesbrough. And here's Andy Townsend. Beck wants it, but Andy Townsend held it up because he felt that Beck was going to be onside. But here's a great run by Merson. Here's a great chance for Middlesbrough now. And it's a terrific goal.
O'Brien, we've been saying all along about the space they're leaving behind them, Liverpool. They've gambled time after time, but that was classic. Great work to start with from Andy Townsend. A superb ball from Hignett. Steadies himself. He actually has time. They've split the defence that much. He actually has time there. It's a lot of dying. Babs left for dead. Goes in. He could have taken it even closer on the keeper. And that's the mark of confidence. He just cracks the back of the ball. What a great goal that is.
There's a picture of a man who really, in every sense, is getting his life back together again. And he's playing football with a great smile on his face most of the time. And he's scored a goal there tonight that I'm sure has brought broad smiles all across Teesside. A terrific bit of football by Middlesbrough and a wonderful goal by Paul Merson.
And not unexpected, Brian.
Absolutely.
They've had that sort of position 3 or 4 times where they've nearly got in. That particular time they did. They measured everything to perfection. But Roy Evans will be having a few thoughts about the way his defenders are defending.
McAteer brings it in. Fowler can't get to it. Banged away by Hignett. And here's Merson again. Redknapp being roared on by the Liverpool crowd now. They've already seen one bad cup defeat here by Coventry in the FA Cup. They don't want to see another one now. Fowler can't quite get there. It's Townsend who bangs it away. Beck. Hignett. Down the line again. And away goes Merson once more. Babs with him. Gosh, what a good goal that was. Maddison. Paul Ince cuts that out. Leonardson. McAteer in space. What a cut tie now. Owen. Redknapp. Oh, a wonderful shot.
Oh, we're just eulogising him at the goal at the one end, and out of nothing, a Redknapp special. There looks to be no danger on, but there is always a danger with Liverpool because they set things up from a distance, and particularly some of these cut across the ball there, and that no goalie on earth would save that. That is a magnificent strike. Look at that.
Well, we've been treated to two astonishing goals here tonight, and there's a most wonderful rifling drive there from Jamie Redknapp. Only his 5th of the season, but one that was enormously important at this stage for Liverpool. Great value here tonight.
I was just looking at something just before that goal, you know. I'd seen Paul Merson out the front, looking as if he's labouring a little bit, and Craig Hignett had got forward and was really blowing hard to get back in. And it's the first time I'd seen him under any physical duress at all.
Coming towards Beck and Merson again. Merson reacted quickly enough there, trying to get Beck in. Beck was onside, and Liverpool this time get back in time. It's with Harkness, 1-1. An explosive semi-final. McManaman. Baker's after him. He's still after him. He's got support from Maddison too. And in the end, the referee's given the corner. Take it, and has taken it quickly. It's with Jamie Redknapp, scorer of that superb Liverpool goal. It's with Steve Harkness now for Liverpool. Deflected, behind for another corner.
I think from these set plays, I think Middlesbrough have got to look on the edge of the box a little bit, because they shouldn't really get beaten in the air from the high ball, but people that are filling in around the box areas, you've seen Redknapp, Leonardson and people like Ince. Although Ince will probably get the job of trying to go in for the header.
Redknapp again with the corner. Driven that time, but Schwarzer held onto it well. Steve Harkness to Steve McManaman, but beaten by yet another Steve Baker.
You'd have to say in the first half hour he's done excellent, hasn't he, in that particular job. I don't know whether that's a regular job for him as man marking, but it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of focus to do it for over the 90 minutes, particularly against one of the best players in Europe anyway.
Hignett. Comes Kinder bravely. There's Owen, or rather McAteer finding Leonardson. Here's Owen. Redknapp. McAteer. Leonardson. Into Paul Ince. Played quickly, tried to get it back. And a free kick. There's a foul on Ince. Dangerous position this from Middlesbrough's point of view.
It was a totally unnecessary foul. I think Musto will probably think it was an accident, but it was a totally unnecessary foul because the 1-2 had broken down, and in actual fact Middlesbrough were rebounding.
Ince behind it. Redknapp behind it. Middlesbrough have already seen what he can do from this sort of range. McManaman and Ince, no more than decoys, I imagine. It's Redknapp. Goal kick. This is the Redknapp goal again. Owen playing it in.
He cuts across the ball, you know, he puts a lot of, he seems to cut across it to get that thing to really fly away from the keeper. It's a super strike that.
Well, he's having a good run at the moment. He'd scored 3 in the previous 5, Jamie Redknapp.
I think it's a time for Middlesbrough just to take their defensive positions up again and just try and take the heat out of the game for a little while.
Kinder. Townsend. There's Harkness. McManaman. Baker faithfully following him, but McManaman this time spreads it wide to McAteer. Here's Owen, the 18-year-old. Pearson with a good, well-timed challenge, and the ball to Merson. Oh, that's a free kick. And Matteo in a bit of trouble here. It shouldn't be serious trouble, to be honest with you, but... And you can see Paul Merson actually is stating the case of the Liverpool defender.
And I think I'll tell you for why. I think Paul Merson knew himself when he received the ball, there's no way he could have got the ball once he'd knocked it past Matteo. There's no way he's going to get that. He's actually gone to ground himself there. Don't say he's dived there, but he realises he's not going to make it himself. I think the young kid is very, very unlucky to get booked on that.
A yellow card it is.
I think that's the type of situation. I mean, footballers usually are the world's worst referees, but I think that's a situation where if people have played the game, they do know what is intent and what isn't. I think that was one of those instances.
Well, here's Merson. Harkness. Supported by Ballins. Phil Babb. Here's Leonardson on the far side. To Redknapp.
To me, Merson certainly looks to be showing signs of duress. You know, he's worked very, very hard, but since the goal, you know, you even look at his body language, it looks as if he's completely shattered at the moment.
Kinder going to get a yellow card now for, well, it was, for heaven's sake, it's a cup semi-final. It wasn't. Now is that a yellow card?
Well, it's certainly not as bad as the one we saw when Merson was it in the first minute, tripped somebody up. Tripped Matteo. But of course, having booked somebody about 3 minutes earlier or whatever, you know, there's going to be a series of them now. You were thinking that.
Phil Babb hits it straight at Robbie Mustoe. Dominic Matteo. Harkness. Owen. He's got that in well on the far side, but it was well cleared by Vladimir Kinder. Beck. You're pointing at something wrong. What is it?
I was just watching Merson. You know, I mentioned a couple of times recently. He's, for whatever reason, whether he is fatigued or whether he's got a problem, but he certainly seems to be just jogging along at the moment.
So we'll watch out for Merson. In the meantime, it's Liverpool, and they've got to watch out for Michael Owen as he plays it wide now for McAteer. McManaman was very nearly there with the header, but it was an important one again by Pearson, I think it was, who got the vital header for Middlesbrough.
It's amazing. You look at Big Nigel, you look at Andy Townsend. You know, funnily enough, both have skippered sides for me.
That's right.
But in a game like this will bring every last ounce of adrenaline out of them.
Yes.
As well. You know, I mean, that you looked at Big Pearson, and you thought there's no way he's going to make it. He makes that last yard. Andy's done it several occasions with tackles and sprints through the middle.
I think they were both Wembley winners with you too, weren't they?
That's right, yeah.
Kinder. Ignit. It's
strange. Perhaps it's my imagination. I mean, he seems to have gone completely to... I daren't say it. I would almost say completely to pot, but...
Hit long by Babb, up towards Owen. He's got a composure there of Steve Vickers. Baker versus McManaman again. It's a real physical struggle as well, and the referees accuse Baker, I think not before time, of shirt pulling, and McManaman actually took his shirt off and handed it to Baker. Taken quickly. Harkness. It's a long cross there towards Robbie Fowler. Didn't get enough on it. Vickers got enough on it for Middlesbrough though. So he's having a smile about it. But Baker has marked him really closely.
He's done very well.
Yeah.
I think that's a measure of how well he's done the job. That although McManaman was having a little joke with him, I think that's a lot of that was out of frustration.
Townsend tried to get there, but was balked by Leonardson.
No, I actually think that is a foul.
Yeah.
I think he's taken Andy Townsend's run out.
McAteer does well to get the ball into Leonardson. Poked on by him, that's going to be a goal kick. The Norwegian who came from Wimbledon, Oyvind Leonardson. Two and a half minutes to the interval now, and with the home leg to come, Middlesbrough would feel that the first half has gone pretty well for them. Here's McManaman again. Baker's with him. Just got to touch him, but now McManaman has swarmed clear of him. But there's Baker wanting another bite. Bam. Redknapp.
Every Middlesbrough player is back now, including Beck.
Babb playing it in. And play on. Baker was virtually assaulting McManaman there, but the referee decided to play it on. It was a dangerous game for Baker to play on the edge of his own box. A slip by Leonardson on his feet again. A little run by Fowler. Ince. Here's Babb. Trying to get it in for McManaman. This time McManaman finds Owen. Baker got it away. Here's Hignett. Is that a foul by Owen? No, it wasn't, but it's a throw to Liverpool.
Hignett's problem there was he was desperate to knock the ball forward, but there's nobody up front to knock it to.
Leonardson. To Matteo.
They desperately want half-time at the moment at Middlesbrough now.
Oh, it's the last minute. Ince. McManaman. Crowd unhappy with the treatment that McManaman's getting from Baker. But McManaman at least has found Redknapp there, but it's Baker, there's the irony, who got the ball away, but only as far as Phil Babb. Liverpool having much the better of this last 10 minutes or so of the first half, but Pearson brings it away. But there's nobody up to pass to, so the big centre-back will come and do it all himself.
Oh, he'll get some stick out of that. Playing a through ball through to himself. Now he's got to get back before the second half starts.
Here's Baker again, and McManaman's after him this time. It's going to be a Middlesbrough throw. Liverpool fans getting really worked up about that Baker-McManaman duel. Well, is McManaman a little rattled? Complete miss kick there.
I tell you what, I think if the kid had got a bit more experience than Baker, he might have asked him for his boot there.
Half-time whistle, and what an exhilarating first half it is. Blessed with two terrific goals. Paul Merson having put Middlesbrough ahead after some good work by Andy Townsend, and then Jamie Redknapp with an absolutely vicious shot into the far corner of the Middlesbrough net. 1-1 here in this Coca-Cola semi at Anfield.
Look at him, a Laker at 18.
Think you got it named?
So, this kid's playing in the NBA?
Okay, so you won the slam dunk contest.
You think you got it made?
So you got your own shoe, huh? So he's played in the rookie game. You think you got it made? You think you got it made?
So you won the slam dunk contest.
You got your own Kobe Bryant. You got it made. Just believe in yourself.
What kind of science can take a fuel, burn it, and turn the ashes back into fresh fuel
to burn again? Just as a prism separates light into its component colours,
this science does it with matter.
but its prism is a bubble 0.1 millimetre thick.
Burned up fuel is used to make fresh fuel.
To burn again.
Of the 3% that's left over as waste, most is
Cased in concrete and steel or turned to glass.
But this is not some distant galaxy, nor the far future. It's today.
Today, here in Britain, what looks like science fiction
Is actually science. Developed by a British company, BNFL, in its work making and recycling nuclear fuel. To find out more, see our website or come to the visitor centre at Sellafield.
where science never sleeps.
How long? A few minutes.
About 10 minutes.
5 minutes and it's all over.
What do you get out of your lozenge?
A lot more than that.
Airwaves, the amazing new vapor-release chewing gum from Wrigley's. It tastes great and every chew releases wave after wave of fast-acting menthol and eucalyptus vapors to help clear your nose. It goes on and on. New sugar-free Wrigley's Airwaves, long-lasting vapor-release gum.
I'm a footballer, not a movie star. I just want to feel good about the way I look.
L'Oreal has created new Elvive Nutri-Vitamin shampoo for men.
For me, it has the winning formula. Elvive keeps my hair clean, shiny, and controllable. It does a job.
New L'Oreal Elvive Nutri-Vitamin shampoo, because you're worth it.
A man's shampoo from L'Oreal? It's about time.
RT Sports. It talks your language.
Hello again, here at Anfield. It's Liverpool 1, Middlesbrough 1. A hugely entertaining first half. John Barnes and Barry Venison are with me. Great entertainment, John, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been. Middlesbrough have done really well, particularly in the first half an hour. You can see in the last 10 minutes they've begun to tie, so it's interesting to see how they come out for the second half, but it's been a tremendous first half.
Clever tactics in a way from Borough, Barry, weren't they?
It is, and Nigel Pearson and Steve Vickers have got to take a lot of credit. They're holding the line well, they're organising, they're dropping off at the right time, They've held the line across the box very, very well, and they've limited Liverpool to long-range shots.
Two great goals. Paul Merson first, John, from Craig Hignett.
Yeah, it was a great goal. Middlesbrough, they've been breaking well all game, really. And here, Andy Townsend, who had 2 early breaks, did well to delay it. He had to really come back out. And it's a tremendous ball by Craig Hignett. You just see Merson starts his run, and I think that really, when a defender, and it's absolutely fantastic finish. I mean, most people would take that on, but great strike.
Yeah, we've got a little defending there. Phil Babb's gambled there. He's just held the line, and really, he's exposed David James. What it is, it's a great finish, and Paul Merson's on top form again.
First goal Liverpool have conceded in this competition this season, but 2 minutes later, what a strike, Barry. This is from Jamie Redknapp. We know he can hit them from all sorts of distances.
Well, as I said, there'll be limited long-range shots. What we're going to see now, I think we'll see, after the goal goes in, Nigel Pearson's very disappointed. What Middlesbrough want a body on top of Jamie Redknapp 2 seconds before he hits the ball. They want his head down, but having said that, he's 25 yards out, and what a strike.
Great strike, absolutely great strike. He's come across the ball and put it in the top corner. They've had someone in front of him for the majority of the game, so he can't do that, but that's on the one occasion that he's had a chance to shoot, and we saw the end result.
25, 26 yards, you reckon?
Yeah, and as Barry said, they've limited them to long-range efforts. I think we're going to see Michael Owen had a long-range effort. That's what they're doing. But I think the most apparent thing for me is in the last 10 minutes of the game, they look to be tiring. And I think that they're just camping in their own half. And I don't think you can afford to do that in the second half, to say, you come into us, we'll repel you, you come into us again. So
everybody has their eyes on this young lad, Michael Owen, 18 years of age. A fantastic solo early in the game here.
It's incredible. This is... he can run at people, he's got pace, he's got great close control, he's got a wicked shot, he's got a bit of dip and bend on it. I actually think the goalkeeper might have just covered it, but enormous talent.
Do you think he might make the England squad, John?
He's good enough to make the England squad, but England have an abundance of top quality strikers. So if he was to get into the squad, it wouldn't be a surprise, but as I said, there are a lot of people ahead of him.
The good news is that Alan Shearer is back and scoring. Let's just remind ourselves that on Sunday, John, you can give us a personal view of this at Stevenage.
Well, I've been playing up front since Alan's been away, and I think if there's going to be one person on the end of this cross by Keith Gillespie, it's always going to be Alan. It's not an easy chance, because he was coming away from goal, but Alan's been doing that in the last week in training. He's been putting them in regularly with consummate ease.
Stevenage, of course, got an equaliser there, but the replay at St James's Park, I just want to talk about that briefly, because I'm really quite upset by this anti-Newcastle publicity that's suddenly arisen.
It's amazing, really. I think they're taking liberties, Stevenage. I think they're out of order the way they've gone to the press, the way they haven't given the Newcastle players and Kenny Dalglish any respect. They're saying Kenny's running scared, the players are getting tetchy because they're close attention. That for me is rubbish. That's pure rubbish. That's them running to the press and trying to get the nation on their side. Newcastle have showed them an awful lot of respect by keeping what they've done on the field and out of the papers. I think they should reciprocate that feeling.
You're just keeping your calm, John, this, a Newcastle tactics, as it were?
Well, to be honest with you, because we're the big boys, we're on a hiding to nothing. We can't go around shouting our mouths off. We can't go in the press. To be honest with you, I think that we have acted honourably throughout the whole situation, particularly even after a bad result, shall we say, although we drew 1-1 there. But as Barry says, it's slightly disappointing to see things that have gone on, but unfortunately, that's the media for you.
Yeah, I'm sure you know that you've got a new signing as well today, Andreas Andersen, £3 million from AC Milan.
Yes, yeah, I remember when he was at Gothenburg, he had a tremendous scoring rate at Gothenburg. Hasn't done particularly well at Milan, but I mean, who has? But he's an enormous talent to remember from Gothenburg, so good news for us.
OK, thank you. Well, let me just remind you that the big match is back next Wednesday at 10:40. FA Cup replays feature, and in particular, that Newcastle-Stevenage meeting. Also Barnsley against us, that's 10:40 next Wednesday. But half-time here at Anfield, and it's Liverpool 1, Middlesbrough 1, a terrific first half. What will the second 45 minutes hold? Just as good, we hope, and we'll find out very shortly.
SEAT TDI, economy with performance. The TDI range from SEAT.
Where's Bert? I can't play without him.
Who's Bert? It's his mascot teddy bear. Here's Bert.
He had bigger ears. Look at that one. No, it's the nose. Here it is. Way too fluffy.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
It certainly looks like Bert. But it don't smell like him.
Hungry? Why wait?
The 80s Mix, 34 80s classics. Exclusively mixed. Including original 12-inch mixes from Soft Cell, New Order, and Human League. Specially sequenced and mixed. 80s Mix. Over 2 hours of non-stop club hits from an electric era. Get the 80s Mix now.
There are risks every minute of every day. Whales, for some reason, can't detect a catamaran's approach. You have to navigate round them. Icebergs as big as cathedrals. Waves up to 60 feet. Winds above 70 knots. All technology can fail. It's whether you can cope that counts. We're trying to beat the record non-stop around the world.
Because we all take risks, we all need insurance companies behind us. Ours reaches all over the world. Royal Sun Alliance. We make it possible for people to do the things they want to do.
You check the compass every minute and live every second.
The essence of a good football song is that it shouldn't be too complicated. It should have simple melody, simple rhythm, ooh, ooh. Easy to memorize. Breath, pause.
Welcome back, 1-1 here at Anfield. Let's get a view now from the Blackburn manager, Roy Hodgson. He's with Gary Newbon.
Roy, first of all, very good FA Cup result for you last night. We better not talk about that too much in case we upset our co-commentator Ron Atkinson even more.
I don't think he will. He seemed very tranquil about the whole affair last night. We were together for quite a while after the game, and I hope he's enjoying this game.
Well, we all are, really. It's a terrific game. What do you make of it so far?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a very good game, very quick game, and the play goes quickly from end to end. Both teams are looking to break on the counter-attack, and both teams are trying to, work hard to get forward when they got the ball.
Now, you've got a really big Premiership match here, Liverpool against Blackburn on Saturday. It's very important to be runners-up as well this season as well because of the Champions League. Have you seen things here that have encouraged you tonight about Liverpool?
Well, not really. We know they're a good side. I mean, basically, you just come when the game's so close at hand. For us at Blackburn, you make sure you come to these games. One, because it's a good night out, and two, because you want to make certain that your knowledge of the opposition is, if anything, strengthened. But I mean, we know how good they are. We know what problems they're going to cause us. It's just a question if on the day we're going to be able to deal with them.
You're back in the commentary box now with me, Brian Moore, and a tranquil Ron Atkinson. Roy Hodgson there, the Blackburn Rovers manager. They were in terrific form last night, weren't they?
They played very well. I mean, we gave them... No, we didn't give them. They got the noses in front, and they're a very hard side to claw back.
And as Gary was saying, Blackburn, of course, come here for a very important match against Liverpool on Saturday. So 1-1 here in this Coca-Cola semi-final. Second leg still to come at Middlesbrough. Final at Wembley. Arsenal, Chelsea, of course, the other semi-finalists play tomorrow night. Their first leg at Highbury. Redknapp to Leonardson. Here's Fowler. Fairly muted first half for Robbie Fowler. Owen gets a touch there. Here's McManaman. Owen again. McManaman. McAteer heaving the cross in. And a header from Leonardson, not too difficult.
I think if I was Brian Robson, I might be slightly worried by the fact that Fowler has done little or nothing in the first half. You know, at some given time in the game, he's going to make something happen. That record of 1 goal in the last half a dozen games, you know, that won't go on forever.
No.
It does seem to, looking at him though, he doesn't seem as full of life or as full of beans, whether that's a confidence thing or what, I don't know, but he doesn't seem his normal effervescent self.
I don't want to bang away with statistics, but he scored something like 19 goals in 23 League Cup games over the years. Once got 5 in a game here. Here's Fowler on the ball now against Fulham. Here he is battling away, and the ball falls for McManaman, and now it could be on for Liverpool. Leonardson's out there. Redknapp's in close attendance. Here's Jamie Redknapp. And it didn't quite fall for Fowler then, and it didn't quite fall for Ince. In the end, it was Kinder who put it away for the corner.
Then there's some great cameo football.
Terrific career record, Fowler. Sorry, Ron. Here's McAteer playing it in. And once again, Middlesbrough getting it away. I think when this corner's gone, we'll have a look, if we may, again at that statistic of Fowler, because it is quite amazing, his goal-scoring record. Let's see what happens at this corner first. Here's McManaman. And in fact, it was Fowler's header, but it fell straight to Nigel Pearson. And the ball goes into touch, does it? Yes, it does. So there's Robbie Fowler, look at that. 128 career goals in 211 games. What an amazing striking rate that is. McManaman. Linesman flagging. Free kick to Liverpool. And Baker's in trouble. He just kicked the ball away there. And wasn't back quite so much. I think it was what he did as he went out of the picture there. He kicked the ball away. It's a yellow card.
And with the job he's got in mind tonight, you know, that's the least thing he could do.
That is a problem for him now. In the meantime, it's a free kick, which McManaman will take for Liverpool. Curled in a long way, but that was a good jump again by Pearson. He hasn't missed much there. As Barry Venison was saying at half-time, Pearson and Vickers have been absolute rocks at the heart of that Middlesbrough defence tonight. It's great seeing footballers play with a smile on their faces. We saw Pearson there, we've seen Merson doing the same, and Vickers has done a terrific job. Well, he knows the air in these parts well. He had over 400 games for Tranmere Rovers. And Brian Robson, well satisfied with the way it is at the moment, who decided to hang up his boots at the age of 41. He announced that yesterday. Well, you've had a lot to do with his career. What about that?
Yeah, well, I've always gone on record of saying he's the best player I've ever worked with, and he can take his part in anybody's list of all-time greats.
And now he's making out as a manager.
He's not had a dull moment since he's been a manager, that's for sure.
Well, that was a good challenge there by Robbie Mustoe, and it's put Baker in possession now for Middlesbrough. Will he know what to do with it? Sadly for Middlesbrough, no. And here's McManaman, Bakerless. But Kinder was there. Mattio's down. It's a point that John Barnes was making at half-time, and he's worried about whether, as you said right early on, whether Middlesbrough would be able to carry on at this pace against a side that pass it around so well. That really is the key issue from now on, isn't it?
Yeah, because they've had to do a lot of ball chasing in the first half, and they've worked and tried to close out and shuttle from one side of the field to the other when Liverpool switch play. And in the old days, used to come to Liverpool and say, you've got to hold them for the first 20 minutes. I sometimes think the way Liverpool play, the last 20 minutes are the important thing.
Really?
That's when you get tired, your concentration level goes.
That's how he received the injury. The famous sign, "This is Anfield," is still just outside the dressing room on the way to the pitch, that the visiting sides see that. But it's not quite the intimidating Anfield of days gone by. I have to say, they've lost 4 times here this season, 3 times in the Premiership, to Leicester very early on, to Barnsley and to Manchester United, and of course to Coventry in the Cup.
There's a smashing little incident just happened off the ball.
I saw Merson threw himself to...
Merson went flying, turned around and accused Ince of tripping him. Ince was 25 yards away. To be fair to them, they both had a laugh about it.
So Mateo's off the field at the moment. There's Merson trying to get back away, but he's got too much ground to make up, surely on Bab. And it's a free kick to Liverpool. They're on their way again. Liverpool won't be happy with 1-1 going to the second leg. They will be looking to get themselves a cushion for that second leg at Riverside. Michael Owen. Back to Jamie Redknapp. Here's Andy Townsend. Will his legs and his lungs keep him going for what remains? A little over 35 minutes. Robbie Fowler's first in there. But Neil Maddison gets it away only as far as Leonardson, and this time it's Pearson, do or die again, and hits it long towards Beck.
You watch Pearson sometimes, you could have imagined him at the Alamo, couldn't you, or somewhere like that.
Owen trying to get Leonardson in.
Nice tidy goalkeeping that.
Yes.
So, read the script very early. No hiccups, no problems for his right back. There's a natural tendency as well for the Middlesbrough lads to all fall back like they did just before half-time. I think somehow or other they've got to be brave enough to try and keep Merson and Beck up the field and have targets to hit. That's a booking.
It was an accidental handball, I think, but it was a handball by Vickers. And there was Vickers with the clearance. Bad to Ince. Townsend. Oh, he's given that away. Didn't mean to do that. Ince. I forgot for a moment that Middlesbrough weren't playing in red, I think. But here he is again.
The problem he had there, Brian, now he's do it. That's 3 times since the turn of the half that Andy's been caught badly in possession. First half he was clean, incisive. Now you wonder whether that's tiredness setting you. But the other problem is, because they've had no real targets up front, they get sort of conditioned to passing sideways and backwards sometimes. That's why I think if they can just keep Merson and Beck up the field, at least it'll hold the Liverpool defenders back a little bit.
McManaman. Now Fowler. Now Fowler. Charged down by Pearson. Harkness.
If he'd have been in a rich vein, Brian, would he have had to go first time with his left foot there?
You're right. Redknapp. He certainly would. No respite for Middlesbrough at the moment. It's incessant Liverpool attack. Everybody except the Liverpool goalkeeper in the Middlesbrough half of the field. Baker gets it away. And then resumes his marking of McManaman. Here is McManaman. This time it's Townsend, but he shakes off Townsend. It's McManaman. Didn't get enough on that one. Pearson's there stabbing it away. Knocked in again by Michael Owen.
Well, unless they can get people up the field, you really can't see anywhere they're going to hang on. I mean, they're battling bravely. The central defenders are really going about the business, but they're getting overrun in midfield now. And as I say, Andy Townsend looks to completely have changed in this half, whereas first half he was probably the dominant player on the field.
He might just be running out of gas now. But here's McAteer. Merson back at him. Still McAteer. Bad. Ince. All Paul Ince. Good strength and a deflection and an excellent save.
Yeah, good hands. Good hands. But all of a sudden they're completely overrunning Middlesbrough's midfield now. I mean, Ince powered past Andy that particular occasion.
Keeper did really well. Matteo. McManaman. McAteer. Vickers and Leonardson. The corner goes to Liverpool. More pressure on Middlesbrough. The red shirts swarming forward again, and Middlesbrough once more pulling everybody back. You wonder how long they can hold on to this 1-1. A deep, deep corner. Leonardson getting it back. Harkness playing it wide. Owen playing it in. Vickers with the headed clearance. It just can't get it away. Too high for Pearson. The flag up for an offside against Robbie Fowler. And no doubt about it.
Yeah, they're pushed out well. It takes courage sometimes when you're under the cosh to push out again and again and again, like the way the Borough have done. But I suppose that's experience, and I suppose Big Pearson would probably say it's better than running.
Harkness. Here's Leonardson. Owen. Baker gets it away, not very far. Ince just plugging it here for McAteer, and then takes the return. Now will line up a good cross. It deflected. Off Baker, and just behind, yet another Liverpool corner.
I know it's tempting fate, but I think you've got to try and make Liverpool hit their corners into the middle of the box. Try and avoid them pulling anything back to the corner of the box for Redknapp, McAteer, or the likes of those.
Townsend got that one away. Baker didn't really get a touch on it. Liverpool's throw. And still got Middlesbrough nailed down in the last third of the pitch.
And every Middlesbrough player in the last third of the pitch.
Matteo. Phil Babb. Leonardson. And this time it's Vickers, valiantly getting it away. Merson. Matteo. McManaman. Baker's with him, but McManaman finds Owen. And bangs it across to Robbie Fowler. A back heel for him. And Harkness hits it way across the face of that Middlesbrough goal. Goal kick.
You know, you have a saying sometimes in the dressing room, and the game was very high tempo first half. Come on, let's step up a gear. I mean, I think at the moment Liverpool have stepped up 3 gears, and to a certain extent Middlesbrough have gone in reverse. It's a clever ball, nice little back heel this from Fowler, and a shot that could have gone in or could have got a deflection and gone in. And that's always the danger when you've got a lot of bodies in the penalty box.
I think we had that suspicion that Middlesbrough were playing with the foot hard down the whole of that first half, and he just queried whether it could go on. But here they are again. It's Hignett.
In actual fact, if Merson stayed up the field a little bit, he needn't do as much running. I mean, he could have the ball into him, and he's got enough ability to sort of hang on and buy a bit of time and buy breathing space for the rest of his team.
Vickers under this.
But because he's working so hard coming backwards, you know, he's virtually camped outside his own penalty area. But that's the problem. You think, can we hang on with the way we're doing it, or can we be brave enough to try and go out and snatch something?
Well, they've survived the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Robson himself, he'll be saying, all right, we'll play the clock now. He'll be measuring the game now by the clock.
Here's Jason McAteer to Jamie Redknapp. Dominic Matteo. Hit long towards Robbie Fowler. Touchdown by him towards Steve McManaman. It's a Middlesbrough throw.
Now this is the situation. From here, Middlesbrough should just keep their strikers in between the Liverpool defenders and stay up the field.
Here's Owen. Redknapp. On the far side is Harkness. Acres of space over there. Leonardson. To Steve Harkness. Calls for a good cross in. Or the short ball to Redknapp. There's his shot again. But actually, Robbie Mustoe was just hanging in front of him, which if he had been in the first half, that first goal wouldn't have wouldn't have gone in.
Did ever so well there, Mustoe. But that is the danger. I mean, funnily enough, in a way, you don't mind Liverpool, particularly when you've got defenders like Pearson and Vickers. You're not too unhappy when they toss the ball into the penalty box. It's when they pull it wide and then knock it across the face of the penalty area for setting up people for shots.
Matteo. Leonardson. Matteo's made a terrific run down the left-hand side as well. And there are 3-4 waiting in the middle. And they'll wait in vain, at least until the corner comes in. Neil Maddison.
He's been solid, hasn't he?
He has.
He's done very well, considering, you know, he came as a sort of squad player.
Redknapp's corner. Played wide this time to McAteer. And beautifully charged down that time by Pearson. And here comes Beck, and he did well too. That's got to be a free kick. Foul by, it's a yellow card for Phil Babb.
He didn't help his cause at all when he kicked the ball away, did he? He looked no venom in it, but I mean, he was always going to be on sudden death when he pulled the fella down.
Middlesbrough players, you can be sure, taking deep breaths now, not hurrying things too much.
Viv Anderson, the assistant manager's on the sideline. He's more or less trying to tell him. He's passed the message on to Andy Townsend. I think he wants them to try and squeeze the game higher.
Vickers hitting it long towards Merson. Touchdown by him. Banging it away. What do you mean squeezing the game higher?
Well, I think he's saying for the front players to try and push up and the midfield players to try and get together and get a higher starting position.
Right.
But I mean, we can't at the moment because Liverpool are just taking them back now.
Here's Leonardson. Back to Harkness. Into Robbie Fowler. Played by him to Owen. Ince may get there. May still get there. They will try to stop him getting the ball in. But Pearson was there to get it away. Beck. Fancy giving it away there. Fortunately for him, Kinder was there, and Middlesbrough get it clear up to Mercer. And it's going to be a Middlesbrough throw. And Kinder's in trouble.
Interesting one, because he looks as if he's going to book Ince for something.
He has booked Ince. He's booked Paul Ince. That's just what it was about, Ron. Unless there was something that happened after it.
Unless he had a kick of him after the ball went. That looked very innocuous, that. I can't believe that's what he's been booked for.
5 bookings so far.
Has that taken him up to 5, or has he got 5 plus that? He's already
got 5. There's 5 bookings. I don't mean Kinder. That's the 5 bookings in the game so far.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Ince's 5th booking when you said that.
Your referee, 13 matches, 60 yellow cards, 4 red cards. Here come Liverpool again. Harkness to Leonardson. Redknapp. Harkness. Middlesbrough got the spirit and the guts and the stamina and the organisation to withstand this Liverpool onslaught for another 25 minutes. McAteer. Redknapp. There's Fowler. No, Townsend saw to that. Merson hitting it long, but the idea was a good one. If it had slanted a little more this way, it might have gone in for Beck.
I think this is what Viv Anderson was trying to say. Try and engage them higher up the field. Ever since he's been on the side, and both Andy Townsend and Musto have tried to pressurise higher up the field. But once again, when they start moving the ball about like this, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Here's Fowler, the little touch for Owen. It's Michael Owen. Charge down again. Leonardson with an extravagant overhead kick.
Now this gives them a little bit of time to push up high. That's an intelligent ball from the keeper.
Kinder moving well now. McManaman's after him. Flicked it forward there for Beck. Beck having a battle there with Matteo, but a free kick given to Liverpool. It's bad. McAteer.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to stop
McManaman. Keeper's got it. He's lost it, and Owen almost got it back, and might still do. And in the end, they just couldn't push it home. Leonardson had the last chance.
Well, this is probably the best chance they've had apart from the goal, isn't it? Good ball to the near post. Keeper does well and then spills it. You think, for all the world, that's a goal. Great block, keeps it in play, and then that's a glorious chance from Leonardson.
Spills it just for a moment there. I thought Owen was going to be able to turn it in. Pearson,
it's a great recovery save, by the way.
Oh, terrific.
It's a great recovery save, isn't that? That might be typical of the chance as well. I mean, Robbie Fowler was about 2 yards away. I think if it had fallen to him on his left foot, it'd have ripped the net open.
Dale Madison was the injured player.
It's probably the first time the keeper's made any sort of semblance of a mistake as well, wasn't it? But redeemed themselves and got themselves out of trouble there.
Beck wins that in the air, but McAteer plants it forward again. Here's Vickers for Middlesbrough. Hit long again. Liverpool appealed for the offside. The flag stayed down. It's Townsend to Merson. Back down that line to Townsend.
To be fair to Andy Townsend, I thought he'd really looked spent at half time.
Well, he's got a second new lease of life, that's for sure.
Whether Viv's given the warning of if you don't start winning the ball higher up the field, somebody else will. Namely somebody off the bench.
And there's no doubt about it. The blue shirts en masse have moved forward up the field, haven't they?
Yeah, what they're trying to do is stop them setting up the play the way they're doing.
But here's Fowler, and Owen's after it. Will Vickers get there first? It's Owen who's turned well. Crossed it in towards McManaman, and Fowler's missed. Well, I suppose you look at Robbie Fowler and you say, well, it's unlike him, but look at this young lad again, the 18-year-old Owen.
That's
glorious opening.
It's not that bad a connection, actually, and I just think if it had been on target, the keeper might have blocked it. But when he's in a rich vein, of course, they go in, don't they?
So it stays 1-1. Coming towards the last 20 minutes of the game. Middlesbrough go battling on. Liverpool still trying to knock those doors down at that end. At the moment, it's Middlesbrough attacking, and he gets the throw off Jason McAteer. Here's Merson. Gets it back to Kinder. Driven in by the Slovakian. Here's Fowler. A good touch by him. Now Liverpool are in. Now they're in with a chance. As McAteer takes it up from Owen's pass. They get a corner.
That's excellent defending, though. Good break on for Liverpool, and Maddison just bought time, jockeyed, didn't dive in, blocked the shot.
Here comes the corner. Oh, what a funny corner. Banged it straight at Baker.
I think Baker was there waiting to pick him up and mark him when he came in.
Jason McAteer again for Liverpool. Still the pressure on Middlesbrough. And still they're equal to it. This time it's young Steve Baker, the 19-year-old. Banging it forward, but only as far as Babb. Quickly returned by him. Harkness now. Leonardson. Just look at Andy Townsend battling away. What a terrific performance by him, and what a great ball by Merson. Just flicked over the heads of the defence there for Mikkel Beck. And then Beck lost his way after Musto had made a terrific break from the midfield. Musto getting back as... oh, that came off Pearson. And Owen hits it over the crossbar.
He doesn't need a second invitation, though, does he, young Owen? Ball just dropped off the back of Big Nigel here. He reads the script very quickly, gets across, and fortunately for Middlesbrough, it goes well over.
But before that, some terrific work by Andy Townsend again, and what a delightful, a blissful ball by Merson over the heads of the defence.
Yeah, one or two of them might just be gathering the wind, you know, just might be regrouping a little bit. Certainly, they look to be better equipped since they've tried to win tackles higher up the field.
Baker does well there. They hustled McManaman into a mistake. It's a Middlesbrough throw. It would be too much to say that Middlesbrough have weathered the storm, because you can be sure of one thing: there are more storms to come. But they've earned a little bit of a respite here, and it remains 1-1. It's a goal kick. And Merson still full of running 30 or 40 yards there, 50 yards to get across there to prevent James passing the ball out to Harkness.
Yeah, he did well there. That's the sprightliest he's looked since he went through for the goal. Perhaps he started getting the adrenaline going again.
Here's Fowler. Finds Ince. Here's Babb. Liverpool swarming forward again. Stopped that time by Musto, but Fowler takes it up. And here's Harkness. Leonardson. Harkness. They want it inside, but there's Steve Vickers doing another good sound job again. It didn't go out of play. Owen. And now Harkness. Play on, said the referee. Played the advantage there. And it's Middlesbrough who come away with it. Pearson once more.
How is he going to chase that himself?
No, he won't do that.
Oh, he's booked him.
Now, why has he booked him?
Well, the only thing you can imagine there must be for a bit of mouthing, but the big Nigel's not vindictive like that.
It's out of sympathy with the whole game, really, the way it's being played. It's
been a cracking game, hasn't it? Yeah.
McManaman playing it in for Fowler, but Fowler, that little touch was never going to come off. He was surrounded by Middlesbrough players, and it's Kinder finding Pignett, and an offside against Beck.
If he had just held his run a little bit, then he would have been in a very, very dangerous position.
Exactly a quarter of an hour left now.
I think that's how good a game it is. It seems to have flown along.
Yeah. Leonardson. We understand Karl-Heinz Riedner will soon be making an appearance. On for Harkness, we think. But there's a chip through now for Robbie Fowler. Can Fowler
turn it.
But he can, but not beat free the Schwarzer. And here's Beck. McManaman getting back at him. That's a free kick. I think McManaman felt there was a dive by the Dane.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Liverpool.
So Karl-Heinz Riedler will come on, and it's Harkness who goes off. Well, Riedler certainly will give them some height and some heading ability in the Middlesbrough penalty area. He's only scored 4 times since his arrival from Borussia Dortmund.
You'd have to think he was needed, wouldn't you, in this sort of situation? The fact that balls are being flown. They've got some good crossing positions.
Merson driving it in. It was Jamie Redknapp who drove it away again too. Baker with the header. Matteo. McManaman played in early. Owen onside. Oh, good covering by Robbie Mustoe. McManaman back to Redknapp. And over the top from Robbie Fowler. And now Roy Evans looking to make. What do you make of that? What did you make of that one?
Wasn't quite sure, no, just whether he's trying to go in and say, look, just Matteo and Bab at the back, and McManaman going alongside him a little bit, but he's certainly asked Leonardson to do a left wing back. There's nobody out on that left-hand side, and only Leonardson.
McManaman finds Bab. And now it's Redknapp. And here's Riedler. Knocking it back for Leonardson. And the cross is there. And Fowler missed that one. That was a very acceptable offer.
That was a glorious chance, Brian. It really was. I mean, he's got himself free. I mean, I thought when he crossed it, I thought, you know, no Riedler in the box, but that was a glorious chance. Maybe they...
I mean, that little moment epitomises the whole of Robbie Fowler's loss of form, doesn't it?
This one doesn't surprise me. Hignat's going off. He's run himself into the ground.
And so their substitute is a 20-year-old Gateshead lad, Craig Harrison, a defender. Usually plays left back. Yes, indeed, and they're putting Kinder across to right back. That's a position he's well used to.
What it means is that the 2 young lads now are directly opposed against McManaman.
That's right. Leonardson. Leonardson again, in for Owen.
Yeah, this Madison
sorted there by Townsend, but he got away with it.
Madison's gone into the joined up in the midfield. That's a good ball.
It's a good ball for Merson to chase. From Kinder. Didn't quite go for the corner though. Come on back, they're saying to Merson. Yes, Madison taking up that midfield. Mind you, he does play everywhere. He had 12 seasons at Southampton, I think, played everywhere, bar goalkeeper. He is the most versatile player you can imagine. Baker gets it forward to Beck. As you'd say, the time is whistling away. Do you realise it's only just over 10 minutes to go now? Can Middlesbrough just hold on to this excellent 1-1 draw? Redknapp hits it long towards Riedler. Not it down by him, but behind Fowler. And a chance for Vickers to get it away, which he didn't take, but at least it's gone off McManaman for a Middlesbrough throw. It's going to be a long 10 minutes for Brian Robson and Viv Anderson, and for all those many fans of Middlesbrough back at home watching this.
I remember doing the last semi-final here, wasn't it? Went with Crystal Palace, was it, when it went right to the last minute before Fowler took something away to give Liverpool a slight advantage in the second leg.
Yes, you're right. Matteo. McManaman being pulled by Baker, and Baker is penalised. He's already on a yellow card, remember. It's a free kick for Liverpool. Dangerous position from Middlesbrough's point of view. Another head of steam beginning to grow here. Redknapp behind it and takes it quickly, maybe too quickly. In the end, McAteer just about gets it back. Townsend there trying to get it away. Townsend, in fact, then getting it away almost as far as Beck, but it's played in again there towards McManaman and Fowler and Leonardson, and still the red shirts are swarming in that Middlesbrough penalty area. It's Jamie Redknapp again. This time it's Owen. Ooh, he's got to the byline, he's pulled it back, and at last Robbie Fowler has scored for Liverpool.
Well, it's a competition he loves, isn't it? Hasn't had the best of nights, but if you keep buying a ticket, you'll win the raffle. Great play this by the kid, though. Goes to throw it in, cuts it back, and there's Fowler. Bang. Not the easiest of chances.
No, he's had easier ones tonight that he's let go by, but
to get across the defender then has done so.
And goodness knows what that's going to do for his confidence, and Roy Evans will be delighted to see Robbie Fowler on the score sheet again. Beck. Now, the next target for Middlesbrough is to make it stay at 2-1, because that still gives them a chance in the second leg back at the Riverside.
Oh, I would think if they could go see this last few minutes out, this score, I think that's a scoreline Brian Robson would happily have taken before the match. But it's a big if, you know, psychologically now. Liverpool full of steam. The lad who's come out of a barren spell with a goal, he'll want more.
Ince with a header.
It's going to test every little bit of character and fitness and commitment.
Free kick.
It's Middlesbrough possessed now.
Redknapp and Fowler for Liverpool. Merson having put Middlesbrough ahead inside the last 7 minutes. Matteo. Kinder gets it away. Merson's touch. Madison. Kinder. Down that line, eat up a few more seconds. Merson chasing. But Liverpool retrieve it and bring it forward again. McManaman. Baker's with him. Oh, Baker's in trouble. No, he's played the advantage, and it was lucky for Baker. Here's McManaman. Straight into the arms of Schwarzer. If the referee had stopped him then, he'd have had Baker off, you know. Baker was pulling at his...
I'm just wondering now whether that's still a possibility, or whether the referee probably has had time to reassess the situation and think, well, he's a kid, he's inexperienced.
Baker was lucky that McManaman wriggled himself free.
If McManaman had gone down as Baker,
that was out.
Game shot of match.
Here's Ince. And now Fowler. Oh. Knocked away by Harrison. Up to Merson, trying to get Beck in. And a lot of space here for McAteer to exploit. Musto coming across. McManaman. McAteer playing it in. Oh, Riedler was jumping for that one. Leonardson, Ince with a shot. Driven away that time by Pearson. Played in again. There's Pearson again. Leonardson will play it in again. 5 minutes left. Leonardson once more. Terrific cup tie. What's waiting in these last few minutes, though? Owen, who set up the goal, the last one, and then banged wide there by Redknapp.
Well, it's a position that he loves. Defenders coming out to close down quickly may just have done enough to put him off there, Redknapp, but dangerous times this now for Middlesbrough.
And you, in a moment, are going to choose the man of the match, aren't you?
Yeah. And I've got an idea you would write it down and have exactly the same one. For me, no argument. I tell you what, the lad Musto's been excellent in midfield. Vickers. But for me, the skipper's been the man.
McAteer. Played down for McManaman. Baker sticking with him. Supported by Beck. Liverpool throw. Now what's McManaman going to do here? He's found Jamie Redknapp. Crossed in again. It's Pearson banging it away. Matteo just touching it in. Good work by Schwarzer. Owen was almost in.
He's given offside decision, Brian. I think that was touch and go. But to be fair, they've cleaned it out. Goalkeeper's come and cleaned it out. Now Fowler's the one he's given offside. Now, all right, he's in the middle of the goal, but there's an awful lot of people who would have let that go as not interfering.
McManaman hitting it forward. Vickers getting it away. It's now with Leonardson. It's Riedler outside him. He's got Musto battling away there, and now Maddison, and now Musto again.
He has been immense, particularly in the second half, Musto.
Kinder, comfortable over on that right flank. Played inside for Maddison. Back to Pearson and back to goalkeeper. Man of the match.
Oh, the big skipper, no question. Some good, valiant performances, some excellent performances from Liverpool players, but we expect that, don't we? But from some great performances, battling performances from the Borough lads, and none better than the lad just heading the wall away, the skipper.
Nigel Pearson. Coca-Cola man of the match, named by Ron Atkinson.
Coca-Cola man of the match is Nigel Pearson.
Your choice doesn't seem to have gone down terribly well with the Liverpool faithful, but
no, that's the Middlesbrough fans.
Here's Riedler. Harrison trying to close him down, and McAteer's got in here. Oh, that was a good block clearance again, and a goal kick. Minute and a half left on the clock. Well, as you say, they will settle for this. They'll have to settle for it, but they will also consider they've got more than an even chance in the second leg at the Riverside for the right to play either Arsenal or Chelsea in the final at Wembley. Free kick to Middlesbrough. They're playing the last minute. Harrison. Now Riedler is going to get a booking, which is ludicrous.
No, I don't think he can complain about that, Brian.
Well,
he made an intentional putt to stop the kid kicking it then. He was about 5 yards away from the ball and lifted his leg to try and deliberately block the kid.
So we're going to disagree. Okay, well let's... Harrison with the free kick for Middlesbrough. Beck on the far side. Wow! Well, he's certainly worked hard tonight, and he launched that one. He's got a good goal-scoring record, actually. He misses a few chances, but he's banged in 14 this season.
Well, when he shaped onto this, I think it was Merson was darting through, and I thought, go and feed him in. But I tell you what, that's a hell of a shot.
Pearson, man of the match, with a good header.
We're not going to disagree on that, are we?
Sorry?
We're not going to disagree on that, are we?
No, we're not disagreeing on that, Ron. That's a certainty. And Middlesbrough gets another throw. They're playing time added on. It's a Super Cup tie, and it does leave it very much on a knife edge at 2-1. Pearson playing it forward. Merson making the break, turning the ball inside, but not near enough back. Madison. Now he does throw a good ball into the centre, but this time he's played it wide. For Merson, it'll be a throw.
Couldn't be one more twist in the tail, could there?
Well, here's Kinder. A minute of stoppage time played. Owen picks it up, and suddenly Liverpool are advancing in numbers. Here's Fowler. Here's McAteer. Riedler's in the middle. If he hoists one to Riedler, and Ince was there too. But there was a terrific bit of play again by Madison. Ince unhappy. A free kick to Middlesbrough. McAteer playing it back to James, who's just been a spectator for most of the second half. Up goes Pearson. He's going to win it again. 2 minutes of time added on played as Liverpool come forward again, looking for the comfort of a third goal. McManaman. Baker on him. Still get the ball in there. And it just went wide from Robbie Fowler. In fact, if anything, Riedler was in a better position just behind him.
He hasn't made a particularly good connection, and it has a bit. I bet to the goalkeeper, but he thought that agonisingly close.
To Musto and then to Merson. Look at the space out there now for Kinder, except that Riedler with fresh legs is getting back quickly at him, and Leonardson takes it forward. Liverpool looking for one last go. Referee looking at the watch. Ince now. Still some defending for Middlesbrough to do. McAteer plays it inside for McManaman. Where's Baker? Cross comes in. Nigel Pearson again with a header that Middlesbrough required. Baker banging it away. Respite and a final whistle. And a cup tie that is still very much in the balance, with Robbie Fowler's winner for Liverpool in the second half after some terrific work by Michael Owen. And then the man who now has scored 20 goals in 24 League Cup games and has broken his duck again after going 6 without scoring. Robbie Fowler gives Liverpool that little bit of a chance. Middlesbrough will still fancy theirs. Full time here at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Middlesbrough 1, with the second leg still to come.
You said left.
Well, I meant right.
Well, why didn't you say right then?
Just take the right.
So where's the restaurant?
I'm trying to get us there.
Have you got that thing the right way up?
Yes, I have. There's a shortcut.
Shortcut. Brilliant.
Really, I'm sorry about this.
This is the last time we're ever booking anywhere.
Why don't we eat round here somewhere?
Here.
How about over there?
Rutherford, 9:30, table for 2.
Spirito di punto.
Now, millions of customers will be able to reduce their gas bills by around 15% with British Gas. To find out what you could save, call 0645 55 55 15.
I really hate getting overdrawn. I thought I would have done this month actually, because, well, my car insurance was due. Anyway, I went with the AA and I'm still in credit. I can't believe it. AA car insurance cost less than I thought.
Call direct on 0800 444 777.
Gives it his all. When he plays, people watch. And when people are watching him, the one thing he won't tolerate is dandruff. That's why he now uses Wash and Go Anti-Dandruff. Because with New Look Wash and Go Anti-Dandruff, he gets everything in one. Excellent control and an anti-dandruff formula. Great looking hair that's also dandruff-free. Jason knows you can have it all. New Look Wash and Go Anti-Dandruff.
Good morning, Puppy Patrol. Your mission is to ensure that every home has Andrex toilet tissue. Andrex is so much thicker than ordinary toilet roll, and because it's thicker, you need less. Good luck, Puppy Patrol. Remember, Andrex is thicker, so you need less.
Bulk buying? Yeah. Buying a twin pack of these works out really cheap, which is just as well in this house.
Lots of thicker, softer tissues, now at an everyday low price. New Kleenex for family, value twin packs.
Andrex, thicker, so you need less.
If you think your disposable razor shaves as comfortably as Gillette Sensor XL, try Sensor XL. We bet you don't go back to disposables. Only Sensor XL has protective microfins for extra comfort and self-adjusting blades for extra closeness. Disposables don't. So take the Sensor XL challenge. Bet you don't go back.
Hey, I want my Sensor XL back. Hey!
0% finance is now available on all Fiat Puntos, plus 1 year's free insurance on selected models. For more information, call free on 0800 71 7000.
Welcome back. Here at Anfield, it's finished Liverpool 2, Middlesbrough 1. Let's get a view of Liverpool manager Roy Evans with Gary Newbon.
Roy, you had tremendous pressure in the second half, but did that make you sweat a bit, Middlesbrough?
I made it sweat a bit, but at the end of the day, it's difficult to play against a team that sits back there and tries to hit on the break. And to be fair, I was very disappointed in the way the referee handled the situation. Man-to-man marking's fine if it's fair, but if it ain't, he's got to do something about it, and he didn't do that.
There was still 7 bookings in the match, though.
Well, ridiculous. 7 bookings in a game like that is ridiculous. 1 or 2, maybe, it's fine. But he didn't punish the real things, and that worries me.
Sets it up for a nice second leg.
Oh, it does. We're still in there with the shout. Okay.
John Barnes and Barry Venison here. John, Liverpool deserved it really, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, we said at half-time that I don't think that Middlesbrough could contain Liverpool. And to be fair to Liverpool, I think they could have had 3 or 4 more. They had excellent chances. Robbie Fowler missed 3 glorious chances, but he's always there. And if there's a man for the big occasion, it's Robbie.
But it was inevitably a Robbie Fowler winner, Barry.
Yeah, well, he gets in there, the goal-scoring chances always coming across, and it was the little boy Michael Owen who's got so much pace who created the goal from. He kept missing, but he kept getting there.
Makes for a really good second leg at the Riverside.
It does, because I'm sure if Liverpool had won a 4 or 5 as they could have, it really would have spoiled the second leg. But as I say, it's very interesting because Middlesbrough will take a lot of heart, not necessarily out of the performance, but out of the result.
We can get a view now from Borough's Nigel Pearson. He's with Gary.
Well, Nigel's like the Alamo for you in the second half, but you held on in a way because that surely keeps the second leg alive.
Well, that's what you wanted before the game, didn't it? That's what you said
absolutely.
to me. Yeah, we had to weather sort of a storm for most of the second half, and we only really started passing it again when they scored the second goal. So it's a little bit disappointing because I think once we'd seen out the first 20-25 minutes and then gone ahead, we fancied ourselves to win the game. But you know, I mean, Liverpool, when they're at home, you expect them to have a certain amount of pressure. We're just disappointed we didn't, press home our sort of early advantage, if you like.
He had a great game, didn't he, Nigel?
Brave, they were. Brave right across the back line. The midfield boys worked away. The front lads, they didn't get any ball in the feet. And to be fair to Middlesbrough, they couldn't put two passes together the second half. But the second leg at Middlesbrough, the Riverside Stadium, the surface isn't too clever. That'll suit Borough.
Well, we've got that second leg, of course, in a couple of weeks' time, but it's a really brave performance by Borough, John, overall.
Oh, definitely, and he won the man of the match, Nigel Pearson, rightfully so, because he was a stalwart at the back. Vickers pushed him close, but I think a bit tongue-in-cheek when he said they're disappointed to go in 2-1, because I think Liverpool had 2 or 3 other clear chances, and it could have been bigger.
Just very briefly, Barry, do you think Borough could come back?
Oh yeah, I think, like I said, it's a game on. They're on the home ground, they've got the fans there. Liverpool won't enjoy going up and playing that surface, yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much. So there we are, Liverpool have their noses in front in this Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. They've beaten Middlesbrough 2-1 in this first leg, 3 smashing goals tonight. With this, the winning goal of the evening. Michael Owen setting it up, and Robbie Fowler notching his 20th League Cup goal in 24 matches. A second great leg in prospect.
Women, women, women. The facts.
I spend about £9,000 a year on cosmetics.
£9,000? Where's she shopping? Could get a car.
The fads.
I want to have my baby in a bath. I love epidurals.
There's not enough pethidine taking a crate of lager for Bacca.
And the figures.
What is the right size breast? We don't seem to be happy with anything.
Boobs grow, boobs grow. That woman must have tits of iron.
Uncover their secrets in The Truth About Women. Thursday at 9 on ITV.
Suddenly, I got this feeling of déjà vu. I recognized the view from the balcony. I knew exactly where the old town was. Sights, sounds became real. I knew that 5 minutes walk along the coast, there was a beautiful lagoon. It was almost like I'd been here before.
The Newcastle. Now the North East's big